Hello. You want to fly? You got to give up the shit that's weighing you down. That is from the late, fabulous Toni Morrison in her book, The Song of Solomon. I'm c.René Washington, 63 years old and thriving. And I am a woman who loves living life full tilt, helping as many women as possible do the same. And I do that through life coaching. I do that through this book, Take the Trip, 4 journeys every midlife woman needs to live in purpose and freedom. And I'm doing that through this channel. This channel specifically curated for Black women over 50, Black women who are ready to drop living under everybody else's priorities, and you are ready to reclaim your time, reclaim your health, reclaim your groove. Get that groove back. Yes. And finally put your dreams and desires in the done column. This is the Midlife Remix for Black women over 50. And today I have some questions. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for that's been nudging at you to do, to experience, to live? Why not now? If not now, when? What is that thing that's nudging at you that you know deep in your soul and your spirit that you want to call that into your life? You want to create that in your life. What do you need to do to flip that I can't do it script? Or it's too late for me. I'm too old. It's too late. What is holding you back? Is it that you don't feel good in your body? Is it that you're afraid? Is it that your mind is locked down in what can't be instead of what's possible? Or that you could at least try because you're afraid to fail, which I don't believe in failure? Is it that the weight of the world is too heavy? And listen, I get that. Or do you just simply need a nap or a good night's rest? What is the thing that's holding you back? Listen, I have been doing a lot of reading and research about how Black women are disproportionately impacted uh, by heart disease, stroke, high blood pressure, diabetes. Most of my girlfriends have high blood pressure and they run the gamut. It's not about just being overweight or this or that. I mean, from the smallest of them to the heaviest, high blood pressure. I had a mini stroke. So there are so many things that seem set up to hold us down, to keep us back. And yet, as you know, Black women are the most educated women in America. We get it. We are educated at the highest levels. We are accomplishing all kinds of things. We are showing up in all lanes, doing the doggone thing. And so I just, even in the midst of all of that, I want us to feel good because I know that we are also impacted by depression. I'm tagging this that, you hear a lot now in the news cycles about the invisible workload that women experience, that regardless of the level of accomplishment, maintaining a household falls on women. taking care of the children mostly still falls on women. Men have come a long way, but still there's this invisible workload. Even if men are participating, the women are having to tell them what to do. So for Black women, I'm tagging what we experience on a day to day basis for just being Black. And I'm in America, so particularly being Black in America, but being Black in the world, that there's an invisible psychic load to that for that. An invisible psychic load for showing up Black in this world. And that's why I created this channel, because I want to explore not all of these questions, and not only just explore them, but to help you find your answers, to help you find the key to your truly thriving, not just surviving, but truly thriving. Not being accomplished, but then going home and crying yourself to sleep, or feeling so tired that you just don't know if you're going to be able to do it for another day or another week. That we get to feel good about being here, that we get to feel good about being in these bodies. Truly good, not surface good, but deep down good in our bodies. And so my get free journey started when I was 45 and I was diagnosed as being in full blown menopause. A couple of years prior to that, I was going through, I think I went 1 year. I went a whole year with maybe just a couple of hours of sleep a night. I felt so out of sorts, so just anxious and wanted to jump outside of my skin. I wanted to disappear and I didn't know why. And I wasn't talking to anybody about it because I had a good job, a good marriage. What did I have to complain about? And so I didn't. I tried to go to therapy once. I went to a Black female therapist and she looked at me like, "Why are you here? What are you complaining about?" So I never went back. And I happened to be in my gynecologist's office, and I was not one to share outside of, yeah, I'm here. If I have a medical issue, I would say that. But I wasn't one to share life stuff. So I just didn't. But she asked me, how things were going. And I said to her, "I think I'm going to leave my marriage and quit my job." And she just said, "Okay, hold on." And she did a blood test on me. And that's when I found out that I was in full blown menopause. I was 45 years old. Had never heard anything about menopause other than, midlife hot flashes. I had no hot flashes. I had emotional issues, not hot flashes, no physical symptoms at that point. And so she prescribed a hormone for me. 2 weeks later, I had a mini stroke. And so I couldn't take the hormone because at that time they thought, that hormone therapy was a clotting risk. So the rest of the story, I went through recovery from the mini stroke, eventually ended up getting divorced. My mom died unexpectedly of a pulmonary embolism. This is over several years. I'm just giving you the cliff notes. And then after she died a year later, I retired from my career 2 years before I was supposed to officially retire. And I eventually started a life coaching business. And then around 2015ish, the stroke was in 2005, and so that'll give you the time span idea. Around 2015ish, I started feeling these physical symptoms, different things showing up in my body, and I was looking at them individually, and finally said, something is going on. Went to my internist who diagnosed me with fibromyalgia, which fibromyalgia is a rule out condition. You can't be tested for fibromyalgia. It's just that they rule out this and rule out that. So it must be fibromyalgia. And so I rocked with that diagnosis for years until within the past couple of years, the pain that the chronic pain that I was dealing with became so severe that I was fearful for my mobility, that I really thought that I was going to lose my mobility. So I changed doctors. I found a Black internist. She said, I don't think you have fibromyalgia. So she sent me to a spinal stenosis specialist, a rheumatoid arthritis specialist. Uh, didn't have either of those. I was going to a traditional physical therapist, a holistic physical therapist. I, you know, you know, changed the way I was eating, the way I moved. And those things did have some impact, but nothing really got rid of the pain. So I was having this sleep issue again, all of this stuff, until I started reading about menopause and how there are some lists show 35, some lists show over 50 symptoms connected to menopause. And joint pain is one of them. Within the past 2 weeks, I was able to get on hormone replacement therapy, because now the research has evolved to show that you can do hormone replacement therapy without the fear of stroke, without the fear of clotting issues, blood clot issues. And this is why I have come back to this show that I dropped. I started over a year ago and then just dropped it. But I'm back now because I am all about Black women getting free, whatever freedom represents for you. What does that look like for you? That we don't have to suffer, and we absolutely don't have to suffer in silence. And that's why I say together we get free. And it's not so in the upcoming episodes, we're going to talk about all of these different issues, and we are going to talk about joy, about the joy of living, getting ourselves foundationally sound, fit, and feeling good as possible. And then from there, how can we create and bring in more joy in our lives? That we no longer have the responsibility for explaining, why we want what we want, why we want to be who we want to be. So I hope that you come along on this journey with me. And I am so excited about this. And I cannot wait to hear about your individual journeys. So please subscribe to this channel. Hit that notification button so that you know when upcoming episodes are happening. And comment. I want to hear your stories in the chat. Comment. So this is the Midlife Remix for Black women over 50. Subscribe and get notified. I'll be back.